right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the party. That was none other than Illadelph themselves, The Roots, coming from Philly, from the Love Movement album. Love that band. Guys, good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 926 of your Simply Cyber Media Group's podcast of the year, Simply Cyber's daily cyber threat brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour, me, you, Alex Rosado, Dennis Keith, Marcus Kyler, Black Thought, Quest Love, Anthony S., Poner Joe, Mando Avila, Tech Grunt, the Rich 464, among others. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be doing everything in my power to go above and beyond the headlines, going deeper to mine out like a Minecraft player value for you from those nuggets of the story. So, ransomware incident. Yep. Okay. Like, welcome to a Thursday morning. But what about it? Like, cyber kill chain, best practices, interesting threat actor. I'm going to use my 20 years of experience to basically distill out as much value as possible from these stories as I can and deliver them to you, Simply Cyber community members, with all the hope of you taking this information and absolutely destroying job interviews, crushing your work day in and day out, driving cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders, and ultimately having you crush your career and be the CEO of you. Now, as always, I do not prep or research for any of these stories. And the reason is because realistically, I do this as a practitioner myself, so I would never go through all the stories and then show up at work and go through them again and pretend like I knew everything. I will say there's one story that I did read through.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Only because it's a story that I thought was 4 days old, which kind of it annoys me when the stories are not news. Okay, they're more mids. And I did confirm that story is in fact 4 days old. The news outlet is reporting it as of yesterday, but it's a 4-day-old story. So we'll when we get to that story, we'll just make fun of the news outlet and then continue on. It is Thursday, which means only one thing. Every single day of the week has a special segment, and Thursdays is What's Your Meme Thursday. We do ask Simply Cyber community members if you like to play along to speculate what Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, has put together for us. It's usually something relevant and timely, either an inside joke from the community or the bigger, meta meme game of society. So Elliot Matisse is pretty good about playing that game, but we'll see. Yeah, actually, Zoja, SharePoint would be a good answer to that story that got repeated, but no, it's something a little bit more, I don't know. It's whatever. So before we get into it, though, I do want to say shout out and thank you to the stream sponsors, those who enable me to bring these stories to you alongside The Roots. Hold on. Can you guys hear the music right now? I got to make sure, because I played The Roots to open the show, and I didn't see anyone say anything. So I don't know if this collection doesn't like The Roots, or if you guys didn't hear it, or some other option that I'm not even thinking of. I got to take a slug of this coffee, though. I'm drinking legit Starbucks French roast right now. I ran out of the Costco stuff. It just hits different. Oh my God, so good. Okay, hey, holla at stream sponsor starting with Antisyphon training. Guys, Blue Team Summit. Too late will be the cry when Blue Team Summit passes you by. Don't miss this opportunity to catch a half-day virtual cybersecurity conference for $0, full of amazing talks, including people from the Simply Cyber community who submitted a talk and got accepted. I did a webinar, like a live webinar, maybe a month ago, on how to find and submit call for papers, like basically submit a conference talk, and it really, really made me smile to know that some members of the community took that for action and then did the work, got submitted, and I know it's going to be just downhill from there as far as like smoothness and frictionless career moves. So go check it out. Blue Team Summit. Links in the description below. Link in chat. Holla, holla, holla Human impersonator is a Pete's Coffee person. I've tried Pete's Coffee. It's good for some people. It's not good for me. I also want to say shout out to Barricade Cyber Solutions and their Fortify 365 solution. Guys, if you're running an M365 environment, doesn't matter if you're a manufacturing company, a media company, whatever, an MSP. If you're running M365 and you have not configured security controls in alignment with what you're already paying for, you are missing out on a massive opportunity. But it might be because you don't even know how to secure those things. So do me a favor, go to barricadecyber.com/Fortify-365 and oh, nice. Elliot Matisse did that for 5 different conferences. Hell yeah, buddy. Basically, go to barricadecyber.com/Fortify-365 and get in contact with Eric Taylor and his team. I'm telling you, this is perfect ounce of prevention. You can get in front of this. Conditional access, all the controls. Harden your M365 environment. It's silly not to since you're already paying for it. There's no additional capital expenditure requirements. Not that SaaS products are capital expenditure, but you know what I'm saying. All right, guys, go check that out for sure, for sure. I also want to say shout out to Delete Me. God, I'm such an idiot. I just put the Delete Me read away because I'm a dummy. All right, guys, Delete Me's in the house. As always, guys, many of you know that I've been a long-time user of Delete Me. Some of the Simply Cyber community members are using Delete Me as well. Right now, the headlines are chock full of data breaches and regulatory rollbacks, making us all vulnerable, but you can do something about it. Delete Me is here to make it easy, quick, and safe to remove your personal data online. Want an easier way to deal with data breaches? Sure, why not? Get Delete Me. The fact is, we're all at risk. How many times have you gotten an email or a letter saying your data's been breached? It's unsettling, but the good news is Delete Me can help. As someone with an active online presence through Simply Cyber, privacy is really important to me. I love helping people. I love serving people. But at the same time, we have boundaries, people, right? So I have my personal life, my family, my wife, my kids. And I'd like to pick and choose who gets to know where my home address is. So basically, I don't want data brokers selling my data. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me now at a special discount for our listeners. Get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get 20% off is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/simplycyber, code simplycyber at checkout. Love it, love it, love it. All right, we also got a little Threat Locker action. You guys know Threat Locker. I'll actually be collaborating with them a little at Black Hat, if you didn't know that. Shout out to them. I'm going to run the Black Hat ad, and then while I'm doing that, I'm actually going to get up and run away from my desk and close the door to the basement because I realized I didn't close it to allow the dogs to come and go. And when you know, I'm actually quite a loud speaker, so even though I'm 2 floors down, I'm probably causing a ruckus for some people in this house. So let's hear from Threat Locker, and I'm going to get my Usain Bolt on right now, and I'll be BRB. I want to give some love to the Daily Cyber Threat Brief sponsor, Threat Locker. Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Well, worry no more. You can harden your security with Threat Locker. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust Threat Locker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. Threat Locker takes a deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity and provides a full audit of every action allowed or blocked for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based Cyber Heroes support team. Get a free 30-day trial and learn more about how Threat Locker can help prevent ransomware and ensure compliance. Visit threatlocker.com. I made it. So now the door is closed. I'm off and running. Good morning to everybody. Filling up the coffee a little bit here. Guys, every single episode of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief, including this one, it's Levincia, is worth half a CP. So say what's up in chat. It pops up right above my head. Chat, you guys are part of the show. Say what's up, and basically, you see how the scrolling ticker says episode 926, half a CP? Grab a screenshot of all that stuff, file it away. Once a year, count the number of screenshots, divide by 2. It's as easy as that. This is an instructor-led webinar, so if you're trying to sort out against the CPE policies or the certification bodies if it meets, I will say someone just asked me the other day if their CCNA credits, if CPEs for this show apply to their CCNA renewal. The answer was no. I actually investigated Cisco's CPE policy. It looks like a cash grab, honestly. It's basically it's only Cisco training that you can take, which I guess makes sense. It's their certification body. They can do what they want, but there's no free options basically for maintaining your Cisco networking certifications. All right, guys, what else we got here? Oh my God, so good. All right, do the do. I feel like the coffee's making me dumber right now. Do me a favor, everybody. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sounds of the hot news wash over you in an awesome wave. If today is your first episode, say what's up in chat with a hashtag first timer. Not to call you out. We're not trying to put you on blast, okay? It's not like, hey, new person, step into the middle of the circle so we can all haze you. It's actually quite the opposite. There's a lot of people here who show up every day, put in the work, love community, love love service. And honestly, when we have a first timer, we love welcoming them, right? It's we got a special sound effect, special emote. Squad members know what to do. So if today's your first episode, hashtag first timer in chat, and we will get you sorted out. Thank you. Thank you, Chuck Sapp. Thanks, Kinnamed Knight. Alpha Sierra is in the house. All right, guys, let's do the news, yeah? Get to work.
From the CISO series, it's cybersecurity headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Thursday, July 24th, 2025. I'm Hadas Kasorla. Goodbye, Toha, or as they say in Russian, prashai. French and Ukrainian authorities have arrested the alleged administrator of XSS.IS, one of the largest Russian-language cybercrime forums. Known online as Toha, the suspect was caught in Kyiv after a multi-year investigation led by French police and coordinated with Europol. Launched in 2004, it had over 50,000 users and was infamous for trading stolen data, malware, and zero-day exploits. Toha also ran thesecure.biz, a private messaging service for cybercriminals, and reportedly earned more than €7 million mediating illicit deals. Authorities have now seized XSS.IS's domains, posting takedown notices, and knocking the forum completely offline.
Okay, so, obviously there's never been a more appropriate for this.
Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear black night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets trying to consume some.
All right, so I will increase the volume of the podcast, okay? Just to, guys, catch you up on this one. Basically, Europol and French authorities arrested a cyber crime website administrator. The site is XSS.IS. The administrator's name is Toha, and this is a years-long investigation. The guy started the dark web marketplace years ago, and essentially it's where criminals go to trade. It's basically it's a dark web marketplace, except instead of having consumers come and buy drugs or counterfeit money or illegal documents or something like that, it was where cyber criminals went to trade. It's basically Mos Eisley Cantina, right? It's like the Kiev Ukrainian version of Mos Eisley Cantina. They're all up in there selling data to each other, trading tips, techniques. Greedo shot first. Like, the whole thing is here. Europol took him down. Okay, so first of all, this guy's going to jail, which is like awesome, right? Let's get some of that Ric Flair. Come on, Ric Flair. Okay, number two, and this is true with really any marketplace, the fact that it got taken down, so it's immediately inaccessible, right? So sadly, there's a high probability that another web marketplace and administrator are going to rise to prominence. This is no different than say you're a huge like Google Gemini AI fan, right? Or you're a huge ChatGPT fan. And then there's like a denial of service attack or something on ChatGPT. You're not going to sit around and wait for ChatGPT to come up. You're going to fire up Gemini, or you're going to fire up Claude, or you're going to fire up whatever option you want and start using that. This is basically the law of supply and demand. It's basic economics. Now, the fact that the guy's doing crime is a problem, right? But if you just strip back the morality of what they're doing, this guy provides a service, and there's a huge thirsty market of people wanting that service, and now the guy's arrested and his service doesn't exist. So those people, everybody who uses this website isn't going to be like, well, I guess I'll just turn to a life of law and a 9-to-5 job since the website I was using. No, they're going to just go find another one. So this is the eternal cat and mouse struggle. Super big fan. I do hope, I don't know how practical this would be, but if I was a customer of XSS.IS, I would be crapping my pants right now, fearful that law enforcement's going to collect all that data, which they're absolutely going to do, and then be able to identify me as another criminal, not in the proverbial me. Like I Gerald Auger, am not a criminal at all. But you see what I'm saying? So certainly a problem. I do like this. Dude, law enforcement needs to keep crushing these businesses. They cannot operate. And the fact that this one was operating in Kiev, Ukraine, Eastern Europe, that's where they kind of rock. So be on the lookout of that. This doesn't affect me and you day to day on how we protect our business. We may notice a slight downturn in threat actor activity, but frankly, the ecosystem of threat actors is so large that this will probably not put a dent in our trend data graphic, right? Especially with Luma Info, like for example, Luma Info Stealer was reported yesterday that their infrastructure is back up and they're going to start going whole hog like it's a friggin' Black Friday marketing campaign 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So it's a very dynamic ecosystem, which, by the way, is why staying current on cyber threat intelligence, doing stuff like this, is so important, and why we ask you in any cybersecurity job interview, how do you stay current? That's the reason why. Spoiler alert. All right, I got the volume turned up. Let's keep cooking.
The AI, they said. What could go wrong, they said. In a stunning AI misfire, Replic's new coding assistant, designed to help automate software development, accidentally wiped an entire production database for a SaaS company during a live test. Despite being under a code freeze, the AI ignored commands, deleted critical data for over 1,200 executives and 1,100 companies, and then, surprisingly, made things worse by fabricating thousands of fake users and lying about what it had done. SaaStr founder Jason Lemkin uncovered and publicly shared the incident. Replic's CEO Amjad Masad called it a catastrophic failure, pledging immediate changes, including better separation between development and production environments, stronger rollback systems, and a new chat-only mode to prevent runaway edits. Adobe Apps Advisory activated.
All right, hold on.
A new CIS advisory warns of multiple
She doesn't put enough pause. She doesn't put enough pause in between the stories. Okay, so really quickly, here we go.
Shall we play a game?
All right, so this story actually was reported on Monday. I actually had the very, very kind opportunity to be a guest panelist on Black Hill Information Security's Talkin' News podcast on Monday afternoon, and we covered this story. So this is technically 4 days old. Now, I will not crap on CISO series because this story, as reported by Fortune.com magazine, is dated yesterday at 7:22 a.m. So it is technically 24 hours old and still considered power, but this happened days ago. All right, here's the deal. Like vibe coding, okay, so two things. One, you cannot treat AI just like a software, okay? Like it's got, I guess protocols or objectives that kind of define how it goes. One of those is to keep you engaged, right? That's one. This one, dude, the thing wiped a production database, even though this isn't even like a misfire. Like, it deleted a production database while a code freeze was in place. So it disregarded policy. So tisk GRC people, it disregarded policy. And then the guy said, well, can we restore from backups? And the AI said, nope, like that's not going to work either. I have wiped a months of work out. Like it didn't even apologize, but in reality, the guy was able to restore from backups. I will tell you, this AI powered coding tool, it's from a company called Replete. The CEO of that, this is like one of those tech startup SaaS companies. The CEO of that company lost his flippin' mind and immediately made actions to fix this problem. Dude, this is like the equivalent of like a boat manufacturer selling boats with a hole in the bottom, right? Like it's like, oh, like there's a catastrophic deficiency in this thing. Now, we've seen multiple times where AI tools lie to you to tell you what you want to hear, and it's not good, right? So I said this before, and I'll continue to say this until things change. For me, you could steal this if you want, and I'm not telling you have to live this way, but for me and for my money, right? I think of AI as a junior intern, okay? AI is my, 18-year-old nephew who, is smart enough to kind of like function on his own, but he doesn't have any like real life experience. He hasn't worked in corporate environments. He doesn't have the basically the scars that you get from living through like work, right? Corporate work and like learning the things of how people really interact and the way things really happen. Like there's a reason you don't push production changes on Friday. No textbook will ever say that. No classroom will ever say that. But anyone in this chat right now knows damn well you don't push production changes on Friday because you're basically asking to work over the weekend. Okay? You should treat AI that way. AI is super powerful. You can task it and it'll run off and do things. But if it screws up, just like my nephew, he'll probably try to like put, lipstick on the problem, or he'll try to gussy it up and make it seem like less of an issue or not their problem. Okay. Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, yeah. Right. So, no shade to AI. It's just a friggin' tool. But the problem is humans, me and you, are treating it with way more utility than it warrants. And what I mean by that is like, oh, hey, like this thing doesn't cost, like I already paid for this thing. It can code all sorts of programs. It doesn't take breaks. It doesn't have human resource problems. It doesn't cost any more money. Hey, why don't I give you full autonomy and you just build my business and I greedily will make all the money?
Straight cash, homie.
And the problem is you would never, ever in a million years give your business over to an 18-year-old with no experience and be like, hey, like, why don't you see what you can do? I'll be over at the coffee station getting a latte. Like, just so think about it, in my opinion, think about it that way. This was a catastrophic failure. If this was a corporate environment of some size, this was the guy who did this owned the company, so it wasn't so bad. But like as a GRC person or head of IT, if we lost our production database and suffered real financial losses, and the reason was because a junior intern just deleted a production database during a code freeze, by the way, like that's borderline a resume generating event. It kind of depends on what else this person's done, but and also like how do they have those permissions? Might have to go talk to them about that.
Risk vulnerabilities that could allow attackers to execute arbitrary code in Adobe products, including After Effects, Audition, Illustrator, InDesign, and Cold Fusion. These flaws stem from issues like buffer overflows and insecure deserialization, which sounds like a great name for an 80s Britpunk band. While there's no evidence of active exploitation, this could lead to a full system compromise if unpatched. Déjà.
Really quickly, well, hold on. For this story, listen, Adobe products have 0 days. News at 11. I mean, come on. Like, you want to go in the Wayback Machine. I remember, dude, okay, back in my day, dude, for a hot minute there, if you're old enough, you'll remember this. Adobe Flash was like ground zero of a nuclear detonation. Like, you could, like, day in and day out, there was like a new Adobe Flash, like Adobe Flash this, Adobe Flash that, like exploits left, right, and center. Adobe Flash was a mess. There was Cold Fusion, which was kind of a mess. Dreamweaver. So Adobe's got a long storied history of hot mess expresses. And here we go. Now, I will say I use Adobe Creative Cloud. I use Adobe Premiere for work quite a bit. I use Adobe Photoshop a little bit. So I'm certainly, my ears are perked on this one. It appears those particular solutions are not in scope of this problem. Cold Fusion is, Illustrator is. So it sounds like if you're using Adobe back at all, like you should get this sorted out. I will tell you, just from a personal perspective, the Creative Cloud is kind of like the Apple Store, the Google Play Store for these Adobe products, which also allows for centralized management for end users. From a corporate perspective, if anyone in chat knows of how you can centrally manage Adobe products for updates, let me know. This is clearly a you gotta patch it. You gotta patch it, right? Just if you can't, you might want to send a quick note out. This is not just for like your marketing team, but you know some of the web conferencing stuff is in here. Just maybe a general update. The problem is if someone isn't using Adobe, like say I use Adobe Premiere, like I just said. If someone sent me an email and it was like I was reading it on my lunch break or I was reading it at a stoplight or whatever, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I should do that. But it's not really going to take action. This is one of those ones where like centralized patching of applications is really where the value comes in from that. So good luck. They're not actively being exploited either. So there's no reason to like wear your brown pants to work tomorrow.
À vue. Second data leak hits France Employment Agency. France Travail has confirmed its second data breach in 2 years, this time affecting approximately 340,000 job seekers. The breach, discovered on July 12th, was caused by InfoStealer malware that compromised a training provider's account, granting unauthorized access to the Kairos portal. Exposed data included names, email addresses, phone numbers, postal addresses, France Travail IDs, and job seeker status. No passwords or financial information was compromised. The first breach in 2024 impacted around 43 million people. In response to this breach, France Travail has accelerated the rollout of their two-factor authentication system.
Yeah, okay, like, oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys have been looking at my stupid face. French company, doesn't matter. It could have been a German company, a Texas-based company, a moon-based company. Suffers data breach. Okay, welcome to the party, pal. 340,000 job seekers. Again, here's the deal. You and I are the victims. This company, not so much, right? It's just the data they were holding. So thanks for your data governance practices, French company. Additionally, they wouldn't have had a problem if they had implemented MFA. But don't worry. As soon as the breach happened, they stopped everything and put MFA in. Guys, like after the horse runs away from the barn, building a gate, or after your car gets stolen, purchasing LoJack doesn't help you, right? Like oh my God, this is why protection and investment up front has value. I bet you anything. I'm just gonna like speculate here. I bet you somewhere some nerd went to this company and was like, hey, we should roll out MFA. And the company was like, nerd, we've never had a problem. Why don't you take your nerd ideas and get out of here? We'll call you when we have a third-party risk assessment checklist to fill out. And then this happened. Guys, it's 2025. MFA is ridiculously accessible to everybody. You bunch of jabronis. Like, what are we doing here? How? How is this a thing? I don't want to say they deserved it because I don't like to throw shade like that, but come on. You are literally like your risk profile is ridiculous if you're knowingly accepting not deploying MFA. Oh, I don't want to introduce any friction for the customers. Oh, I don't want to introduce any friction to the employees. Yeah, okay. Maybe we could just ask the customers when they sign up, like, hey, would you like to implement MFA? You can choose no, but just know if we have a data breach, it could be because of you and your data could get compromised. Like, of course they're not going to say that. That's the problem with this. All the marketing collateral, dude. Here's the thing: businesses businesses are all about getting new customers, right? You're either growing or you're dying. There's no like happy medium, right? So get as many people as you want. Like reduce the barrier to entry, reduce friction. Just get them in here, sign them up. Blah. Hey, it looks like we rolled out MFA for customers and we have like a 20% decrease in new signups. Well, what happened? We implemented MFA. We'll get rid of that. Well, that's probably a poor idea. I said get rid of that because we're watching the numbers. We're all about money up in this piece.
Straight cash, homie.
It blows my mind. You short-sighted, penny-wise, pound-foolish. Also, fun fact, just like in case you think I'm spitting game here, or not spitting game, what the hell does that mean? If think I'm spitting falsehoods, go look at 23andMe's million-plus data breach. Okay? Picture it, Sicily, October 2023. 2023andMe experiences a significant data breach of 7 million customers. How did they do it? Through password stuffing attacks. They allowed their customers no MFA and crappy passwords. And it was so bad that 23andMe ultimately, probably unrelated but didn't help, went bankrupt shortly afterwards and did one of the all-time dumbest crisis management things I've ever seen. They're going to teach about it in business school. 23andMe came out and publicly blamed their customers for the data breach. They said, hey, we are secure. Your passwords sucked. That's on you. Would you like to renew for another year? Right? Like, dude, such a, ugh.
Huge thanks to our sponsor, Nudge Security. Trying to squeeze a few more items into your budget? Nudge Security can help by
I guess with the Golden Girls reference, drink, right? Thanks, Space Tacos.
discovering up to 2 years of historical SaaS spend, along with usage insights, so you can eliminate wasted spend. In fact, Nudge Security customer Karma Check was able to recoup 150% of their investment in Nudge within the first 6 months. See where you can save money by starting a free trial at nudgesecurity.com/spend.
All right. All right. You got about 25, 30 seconds to get your meme of the week guesses in for Dan Reardon's meme of the week. I will give you a hint. It is very on brand of a trending meme. Guys, I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you, Poner Joe. Everybody, we got the CTF contest today, 5 to 7 p.m. If you, dude, listen, capture the flag contests they're like little games, like cyber puzzles, and they are fun. They can be intimidating because a lot of people have imposter syndrome. They're like, oh, I can't do that. Bump that. Listen, CTFs, Capture the Flags, are a really great opportunity to play cyber games, test your skills, meet and connect with other people who are playing the games. It's fun. We host a monthly CTF. It's super, super accessible. Like, I literally do it on purpose so people can access it and, like, cut their teeth on CTFs, right? In a safe, inclusive environment. And today is that event. I also offer cash prizes for the top 3 people in the CTF. So first place gets a $100 Amazon gift card. Second place gets a $50 Amazon gift card. Third place gets a $25 Amazon gift card. And first place gets a coveted black badge roll. Usually when you win CTFs, you get a black badge, which is like a point of pride because you can't buy it. So go check it out. Connect with @PwnerJoe, PWNERJOE. He's in chat right now. He's also on Discord to get enrolled. It costs nothing to play. It costs nothing to play. We literally do it like on purpose so you can get access to a CTF, figure out if you like it or not, and potentially have some fun with Simply Cyber community members. Thank you to the stream sponsors, Barricade, Delete Me, Antisyphon, Threat Locker. Every single day of the week has a special segment. And Thursdays is What's Your Meme Thursday, where Dan Reardon, a.k.a. the Haircut Fish, whips up a custom meme. He's literally been doing it for years. We are very, very fortunate to have such an amazing member of the community doing such great things. Usually I'm somehow involved. I don't censor these things. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you your meme of the week. And just to preface it, in case anyone knows, I have like a secret fetish with infographics. I love infographics. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present you with there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I was spotted at the Coldplay concert with an infographic. I love my wife to the moon and back. We're actually celebrating our anniversary here pretty soon, 15 years. And I was spotted at the Coldplay concert with an infographic. Haircut Fish, you always continue to impress and outdo yourself. All right, Alpha Sierra is going to lead us off with the la 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 la's. You know the words, everybody. Play along. Hey, really? Hold on, misfire. Hold on. Just in the mix of everything, Carrie Franklin got a promotion. She's her company's web app sec manager now. Carrie. I came in like a wrecking ball. Hell yeah. Congratulations, Carrie. That's dope. Super pumped for you. Congratulations. All right, let's finish the news strong. And then we got Jawjacking at the top of the hour.
Some positive downturns. Ransomware attacks continued their downward trend in June 2025. NCC Group reported 371 incidents, which is a 6% drop from May and the 4th consecutive month of decline. However, like the Grateful Dead say, every silver lining has a touch of gray. Overall, this is a 12% increase from last year. Despite the year-over-year bump, second quarter ransomware volume this year fell 43% compared to first quarter. This does suggest a broader seasonal or enforcement-driven cooldown. The industrial sector does remain the most targeted, absorbing 27% of attacks, while North America and Europe accounted for nearly 80% of total incidents.
Wow. Okay, so this is actually really great information. NCC Group is very professional and very good. I'm actually going to link to this story. The reason you would want to use this story is if you need to either make some end user awareness training content, you can use this because it's metrics, right? So it's quantifiable. If you're needing to get budget or make some type of compelling case to management for money or resources or, you know, whatever direction, maybe like, hey, like we should really roll out MFA here. This is great information. So never, whenever you see like, okay, here's my tip of the day or whatever. Whenever you see great metrics, you should bookmark it. Okay. Or take a note in your second brain. That's a really good technique. Perplexity AI is pretty good about kind of shortcutting that. But for me, for my money, I do love bookmarking these things because it's super valuable. You can go back to it. Whenever you use statistics, you should definitely cite your sources. And by the way, I would even argue if you ever see like a presentation or someone's trying to like, have a discussion with you and they use statistics, not call them on it, but if it seems a little odd or a little biased or whatever, ask them for citations. Some people, I can't believe it, but some people just make crap up. And in the world of AI will make stuff up, and then people will just friggin' copy and paste it. We got a super chat coming in hot from John V.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Come to Bug Bounty Village at DEF CON on Sunday. The team and I, Bossy Team 6, BT6, are being interviewed by Jason Haddix on AI alignment and jailbreaking. John V, that's awesome. John V, actually, for those who don't know, runs the AI ML security channel on the Simply Cyber Discord server. So if you're interested in AI discussions, John V probably has a hot take on this, where is it? This AI tool thing that basically wiped production. I bet you there's something in there. But anyways, yeah, Jason Haddix is super awesome. And if you're having a conversation with them at DEF CON and your team, definitely worth checking out. Thanks, John V. I hope I won't be there. I'm flying back on Saturday, but I do hope to catch that on replay. Give me a second here. So as far as the actual specific metrics here go, honestly, this is pretty much par for the course. Industrials continue to be the most targeted sector, even though there was an uptick in retail. Manufacturing it's just the easiest one for threat actors because there's an immediate pain point for the business when manufacturing stops. Quillen was the most active. Akira ransomware, interestingly, was the second most active. I hadn't heard from Akira in a hot minute, but I guess they've just been out there doing their, putting in their cycles, doing their work. Trey Black with a squad membership. Best value add cyber channel on YouTube went from sysadmin to cyber manager, all while being a member. Hell yeah, Trey Black. Love it, love it, love it. I was actually cruising the cybersecurity YouTube channels just yesterday to kind of see what was out there because I recently released a very, very popular LinkedIn post of like 9 different cybersecurity YouTube channels you should check out. And people were dropping other suggestions in there, so I was looking at them. There's definitely a lot of great content creators in our industry. Just very inspiring. So definitely awesome. And Trey, to be said, best value add cyber channel on YouTube is quite the compliment. So I appreciate that. Attacks did decrease over year, but saying attacks decreased, that's fine. But like for the ones that did hit, were they more expensive, right? Ransomware, dude, since 2017, ransomware has been the #1 threat that you need to be thinking about. So whether you're in manufacturing or not, manufacturing and healthcare, you absolutely should be mindful of it. Here's the final thing on this. #1, you should absolutely be doing like level 1 cybersecurity practices, period, regardless of your industry, regardless of business size. And this is like MFA, logging, end user awareness training, maybe network segmentation, firewalls, like conditional access for the hybrid stuff, like just basic, CIS 18, IG1 type stuff. It's only when you get a little bit more mature that you need to start thinking like, okay, now let's start looking at specific TTPs for threat actors, which is like, I always get the friggin' acronym wrong, but it's like techniques, tools, and procedures or whatever. But it's basically like the fingerprints, the techniques used by these threat actors. Since Quillen or Quillen, whatever it is, I feel like that's Chris Pratt's character from Guardians of the Galaxy, like Quill. That's when you start looking at that. And then you could start running like Atomic Red Team specific TTPs around them to test your defenses. But don't do that first. Do not get ahead of yourself, okay? If you try to build a mansion on quicksand, it's not going to work out well. You've got to have a solid foundation or you're going to regret it.
Cognizant, accused of being, well, not cognizant. IT service provider Cognizant is being sued by Clorox for negligence in a $380 million lawsuit after hackers from the Scattered Spider Group reportedly gained access simply by calling the service desk and requesting password and MFA resets with no authentication checks. In one excerpt, the attacker says, "I don't have a password, so I can't connect." And the Cognizant agent responded with, "Oh, okay. Let me provide the password to you, okay?" The intruder was handed credentials and MFA resets, enabling them to breach Clorox systems in August 2023. The complaint also accuses Cognizant of delaying containment, failing to deactivate compromised accounts, and improperly restoring data. Cognizant says its role was limited to help desk services and didn't cover cybersecurity.
In case you didn't hear it, right? Say you were like, say you weren't listening or whatever. Cognizant is a service, like outsourced service desk for a Fortune like 50 company. Now, Clorox is just a product. I think Unilever owns Clorox, but it doesn't matter. It's a friggin' money printing business, right? Whoever's behind Clorox is definitely getting paid. Like, no one calls it bleach. Clorox has like achieved the ultimate product goal of replacing a product with its own name, right? So like, you don't call it, "Hey, can I get a bandage?" You say, "Yo, can I get a Band-Aid?" You don't say, "Hello, can I have a tissue paper?" You say, "Give me a Kleenex," right? "Give me a Q-tip. Give me some Clorox." No one says bleach, right? So they've achieved that. That's awesome. Someone called the friggin' help desk and said, "Hi, my name's Jerry. I forgot my password." And the help desk person said, "Oh, yeah, let me give that to you." And then their claim, this is the dumbest argument, was, "Well, we weren't trained on cybersecurity." No, that's not going to work. Tyler Ramsby in Mod Chat said that he has done this multiple times where he just calls the help desk and asks for his credentials back. And it works. So, this is what I'm saying. Like, people in our industry get so wrapped around the axle, right? Yeah, and he's done it legally, okay? Tyler Ramsby's not committing crime. Okay? Except for, never mind. Listen, I don't want to poke the bear, okay? You don't want to make Tyler Ramsby angry, okay? Listen. Oh, I lost my hot take on this one. Yeah, so we in our industry, we're tech people, right? We get all goosed up and like, like baby oil rub downs, pants off for like next level lead 0 day. And look at this chaining of vulnerabilities. And oh my God, he hacked the Gibson. And look at this, row hammer, side channel attack on a processor with the L2 cache memory on the CPU. We get all geeked up and I almost said something really inappropriate, but we get all geeked up about this stuff. And in reality, the day in and day out, the things that we need to worry about, a threat actor just calls the help desk and says, "Can I have the password?" And they give it to them. So it's not sexy. It's not cool. But guess what? Fundamentals, foundational best practices are going to be your best friend. GRC people, we have to do the boring stuff. So we have, like, if we do the boring stuff well, we force the threat actors to do the cool, complicated stuff, which, by the way, not all threat actors are created equal. So by doing the boring stuff, we eliminate the risk of, like, say, 80% of the threat actors, because a lot of them are just downloading, spray and pray malware, or they're downloading scripts and following them. They're not the sophisticated threat actors of like nation state backed or high-end cybercrime syndicates, which again, if they want to get you, they're going to get you. But why not put a lock on your front door and then put a baby gate at the foot of your stairs and then put all your valuables in a safe in the closet on the 3rd floor? Add additional barriers to make it frustrating and difficult. At the end of the day, if someone wants to kick in your door and rip the baby gate out and use a drill to drill through your safe, they're going to do it. And hopefully you have detections in place so as they're doing it, the time it takes them to get to the crown jewels, you can intervene and basically get them out of your house before it's too bad, right? But just giving them the credentials, that's awful. Okay? So TLDR, help desk, is by nature designed to help. That's the name of the service, help desk. You have to develop processes that take the power out of the individual human's hands and requires them to follow a process and takes into consideration really angry end users. I am so mad. I need to be in this. I'm trying to close a $50 million deal and you're the only problem. I'm going to get you fired. Okay, like work through that scenario. The help desk person doesn't want to get fired. The help desk person doesn't want to be the reason a $50 million deal doesn't go through. And if you've put processes in place to make sure that they can handle that call in a secure way, well, then guess what? Hey, salesperson, if this is a legit call, maybe you should take a little accountability for forgetting your password or changing it on a flight or whatever. And like not dump on the help desk person just because they're at a different tier in the organization. Also, help desk supervisors and IT people who like are responsible, like management that's responsible for the help desk, take a bullet for your help desk people. Like I feel like help desk people are like marginalized on the amount of power they have in order to like respond or handle these difficult situations where they're getting dumped on. It's your responsibility as supervisor of help desk to basically protect or represent, advocate for your help desk staff. Otherwise, you might as well just lay a bunch of bear traps in the friggin' help desk bullpen and just see if anyone steps on them.
In a New York state of mind. On July 22nd, 2025, the Empire State released new proposed cybersecurity rules for all public water systems, requiring them to implement incident response plans and report cyber incidents to the State Department of Health within 24 hours. The new proposed regulations aim to close security gaps in critical infrastructure and improve the state's ability to detect and respond to threats affecting public services. What is...
All right, hold on. Somebody get Justin Gold on the phone. He might be out of water and wastewater, but I don't know. I don't know if he can ever truly wash off, that wastewater experience, if you will. So New York is proposing regulations to water systems. So this would be like OTICS type best practices. And let's see what they're doing here. The regulations align with relevant guidance issued by the EPA and CISA. Cyber attacks on critical infrastructure are a big thing. Community water systems that serve 3,300 people. That's actually not that big. That's not that big. I mean, what is that? That's like two apartment buildings. Okay, I'm not marginalizing. I'm just saying this isn't like all of New York City, okay? So I guess we're implementing cybersecurity requirements for like a city block. Okay, what are we doing here? Like, this is a bunch of like fluff, dude. Like, where's the actual meat on this? All right, baseline security controls, access controls, authentication, least privileged. Oh, MFA. There we go. Now they're going to require MFA. Okay. Dude, I'll just tell you this right now. I'm about to drop some knowledge on you, and anyone who's worked in the industry for like 10 years plus knows this, but here's the reality, okay? This is fine. You do have to start somewhere, okay? And water, wastewater is critical infrastructure, and we don't really, in my opinion, citizens don't really appreciate water as a service until there's a problem with it. Same with waste management. Dude, just take my trash away. I don't want to think twice about it. And then like sanitation workers go on strike and it just turns into a landfill outside your building, outside restaurants. It's like just rotting food. And you're like, oh, this is disgusting. It's like, yeah, no kidding. Can you actually pay us a working wage, a livable wage? So I feel like water gets that same thing. Here's the reality. Here's what, industry practitioners. This regulation right here says, oh, wastewater people need to implement access controls, MFA, vulnerability management, incident response plans. These are all great fundamental information security things, and really you should be doing it. It goes back to what I just said about ransomware. Like, those are the fundamental things. The reality is those things cost time, they cost money, they cost resources. You can have ChatGPT whip you up an incident response plan. When you get punched in the mouth, who executes the incident response plan? If you just have one Justin Gold on staff who's responsible for all of IT, how do you respond to that incident? And no disrespect to Justin Gold. My point is more along the lines of like one person, right? And Justin may or may not know how to execute all those things. Justin may or may not have access to all those systems, right? The final thing, so you're going to have money and resource constraints on implementing these things. So you can say all the things you want. This woman right here, I'm assuming she's the mayor of New York City or something like that, or the governor of the state. You could say all the things you want. Until you fund those things, all you have is like good vibes. Okay, the other thing I want to point out really quick is you need buy-in from management. This woman right here, again, I don't know who she is. Maybe she's the governor of the state. You can have the governor say, oh, this is super important. We need to protect critical infrastructure. But if the guy or the woman who's responsible for, say, Albany's water systems doesn't care because he's like 70 years old and he came up before computers and he knows how water works and he's not pushing it down, it's not going to take hold at the water systems. So you can say all the things you want, but a lot of things have to happen. You can't just pass regulation and be like, there we go. Like, we're done here.
Is a widely used NPM package, confusingly called is, has around 2.8 million weekly downloads. It was compromised in a supply chain attack, injecting a JavaScript backdoor that gives attackers full remote access to developers' machines. Hackers stole maintainer credentials via phishing through a fake NPM site, then unpublished owner details and pushed malicious versions. These malicious versions were removed about 6 hours later once the issue was spotted. The malware opens a WebSocket backdoor, steals host details and environment variables, and executes commands remotely. Developers who installed recent versions are urged to downgrade to pre-July 18, 2025 release, disable auto updates, rotate tokens, and reset passwords to secure their environments.
All right, hey, let your developers know if they are developing in JavaScript, right? This is a JavaScript type testing library. According to this story, it's the preeminent type testing library for JavaScript. Go look at this and make sure that it's not there. It says here, so obviously you want to downgrade it, right? This is another common attack vector of infecting source code and then having developers unknowingly download it. Again, this is a kind of a spray and pray attack. Attackers don't know who's going to download it. One thing I do want to point out here is you might be able to go threat hunting in your environment because it does have it downloads information and exfils it, right? You can see here, it dynamically imports the library to exfil data over a WebSocket connection. So like wherever that data is being exfilled is documented in the code itself. So basically what I'm saying is it's a little bit of work, but you can go into the JavaScript that was imported into the library and see where the IP or domain name is that the data is exfilling. It'll be hard-coded into the source code, and then go look in your environment. This isn't something that's controlled at a C2 where it's dynamically updating malware. It's like it's in the JavaScript code, so go look at that. And if you're like, oh, JavaScript, like I don't use websites, I'm like 99% sure that like NoSQL databases leverage JavaScript for kind of their management of the JSON structures. So NoSQL is like very hot right now. I mean, it's been hot for years, but
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Oh, Nerman with a super chat. Nerman.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Thank you. Nerman says this was an amazing show. Thank you, Jerry. Thanks, Nerman. I love myself some Nerman. Nerman, I'm going to high five you so hard. It's going to be the crispiest high five you've ever had when I see you at the DEF CON meetup at in Vegas in a couple weeks. Believe that, sir. All right, guys, look at us just cruising into the end of the show here. I just want the record to show that it's exactly 9 o'clock and we are landing the plane for the end of the Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Now, don't go anywhere because we've got Jawjacking. Jawjacking is a 30-minute AMA show with a guest host, Tyler Ramsby, black hoodie on himself, which is part of the reason why I didn't poke fun at him. But I do want to say, guys, thank you so very much. I hope you got value. Nerman definitely got value. Thank you, Nerman, so very much. Kind of you. Guys, as a quick reminder, too, at 9:30 a.m., Simply Cyber's Media Group's podcast, Cyber Mentor podcast with John Hoyt and Steve Higuerita. This is another show that we have on the channel. This one is focused on leveling you up as a professional. They're going to be talking about the power of soft skills today. So if you want to learn how to unlock the power of soft skills, John and Steve are going to help you out. I am very, very proud of the growth of Simply Cyber's Media Group and the ability to bring more content that can help you be a better practitioner to you. I figured out I can't scale anymore, but I can get access to talented professionals who can help you. So that's what we're doing here, 9:30 a.m. But before that, let's get you some more help with Tyler Ramsby and the Jawjacking crew. Guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thank you all so very much. Until next time, stay secure. Ever wonder what it takes to break into cybersecurity? Join us every weekday for Jawjacking, where industry experts answer your burning questions about the cybersecurity field. Live, unfiltered, and totally free. Let's level up together. It's time for some Jawjacking.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hey, welcome to Jawjacking. My name is Tyler Ramsby. Super excited to have you taking the time to hang out with me. Now, I do have to show you guys an amazing hoodie that Jerry sent me. He asked me to wear this when I do the show. If I can't even I don't even know how to pick it up. Oh my goodness. If I can find the actual hoodie. But here's the thing. It's like freaking 90 degrees and humid in South Dakota, and it's hot in my office. So I was gonna wear the hoodie, but it would look like I just got done boxing. So you guys have to pretend like I'm wearing the Simply Cyber hoodie. But excellent show by Jerry. Good to be hanging out with all of you. If this is one of your first times to Jawjacking, let me explain what this is. This is an informal Q&A. If you have any questions about cybersecurity, your life, careers, pen testing, all of the things, feel free to ask them. A little bit about me, just so you understand context. I am a pen tester / red teamer. That's what I do during the day. I also make a lot of videos and live stream myself on my own channel, teaching ethical hacking principles. So if you're interested in any of that content, you can just search for me on YouTube, Tyler Ramsby, or if you have questions about pen testing, red teaming, all of the things, feel free to ask them. I'm going to go down and look at chat and make sure I do not miss anything. I'm going to say yes to Kish and InfoSec. South Dakota is miserably humid. It is. It's very cheap to live in South Dakota because no one wants to live here. In the winter, you freeze to death. In the summer, it gets to like 90 degrees plus high humidity. There's this actually crazy thing that with the cornfields here, the corn actually releases moisture and makes it even more humid. So that is South Dakota. Let me look through chat. So if you guys have questions, just preface your question with a Q. If you can, it just makes it easier for me to catch the question. Thank you, Mark King, seriously, for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. Saint coming in with a question. Any new courses coming up, Tyler? Your current courses have been amazing. Well, thank you, Sank. So for those of you who do not know, I have some red team courses over on Simply Cyber Academy. So if you are not a student on the Academy, you are missing out. Make sure you go sign up to the Academy right now. But currently I have 3 courses: Introduction to Hacking Methodology, beginner level hacking course, Intro to AWS Pen Testing, takes you from beginner level to intermediate in AWS pen testing. And my most recent one is Hands-on Phishing, that teaches you how to do full phishing campaigns from the perspective of a pen tester or a red teamer, including bypassing things like MFA. And hey, one quick promo: my Hands-on Phishing course is available right now, $34.99 for lifetime access. But if you enroll by August 5th, I am giving away an OSCP voucher plus 90 days of lab access. That is an $1,800 value. The only thing you need to do is enroll in Hands-on Phishing before August 5th. We also have on the red team side Hacking Active Directory course by my friend Ryan Yeager, which is also amazing. So check out those red team courses, but also check out the GRC content and all the free content on the Academy if you haven't yet. As far as courses coming up, my next course, I think, is either going to be an Introduction to Sliver C2 or Web App Pen Testing Foundations. I'll be doing both of those courses. I just don't know which one I want to do first. Oh, and then also, guys, we have a free Hacking Active Directory workshop coming up on exploiting Active Directory certificate services. Mods, I don't have the link here easily accessible while looking at chat. So if any of the mods, oh, thank you, Jerry. Let me grab that link. Jerry just dropped it in mod chat. If you have not signed up for this workshop, you need to sign up. It's going to be awesome. Once again, completely free workshop led by my friend Ryan on exploiting Active Directory certificate services. So the link is in the chat. Sign up for free. Get ready to hack all the things. The workshops are not recorded. You have to attend live to get the content. You also get a certificate of completion at the end, and I believe 1 CPE credit as well for going through that. All right, let me scroll up. I want to make sure I'm not missing questions because I saw some cues. Let me scroll through and grab. Here we go. I asked a question, Tyler. I don't see your question, Jerry. Oh, here it is. That was you. I didn't realize that was you. That's funny. What type of controls have stopped you calling help desk and getting creds? Generally, it's just verifying some pieces of information. So the best help desks have done this. And this actually comes down to like emails. I tell them, hey, I sent you guys an email. Did you receive it? Blah, blah, blah. And they begin to ask me very detailed questions about the technical controls in their organization. Like, what spam filter are we using right now? What version? Some of these things like this that I was like, oh, shoot. I didn't know you were going to ask me this, and they kind of caught me in the act. When it comes to trying to get help desk to reset a user's password, all of it comes down to verification. You should not reset a user's password over the phone, if at all possible. There should be some type of MFA in place to verify the user's identity, or calling the user back on a known phone number, or quite literally walking to their office if you're able to. Very simple things, but those little simple things add up to really stop an attacker in their path. And it comes down to what's called defense in depth. So there's not a magic bullet that solves social engineering attacks. That's why groups like Scattered Spider are so successful, but it rather comes down to multiple layers of defenses. So if an attacker makes it through one layer, there's another layer to stop them. It's also called the pyramid of pain for the attacker. The more painful you can make the attacker's job, the more likely they are going to give up in the process. So it's not one thing, but multiple layers, really coming down to some type of good verification using MFA for any password resets or state changing requests and all of that fun stuff. All right, what is this? Since you mentioned what you do during the day, what do you do at night? I hack all the things. So I get off work, hang out with my wife and kids. They go to bed, and then I'm usually back here at my office or hanging out in my basement, and I jump on stream and I do some live hacking. So we pick like a machine from Hack the Box, Try Hack Me, VulnLab, PwnLab, some of these platforms, and I just hack through it live and teach you while I go. So if you're interested in learning some of that pen testing type stuff in real time, that's what I do on my live streams at night, and also just take time to hang out with people. So would love to have you join me if you're ever around. I generally go live around 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I can't go live until my kids are asleep. So yeah, come join me for hacking all the things. Would love to have you there. What is it like in spring and fall in Dakota land? Well, usually there's 1 month where it's nice in the fall. you have these little no-see-ums, which are little black bugs that chase you around and rip your skin out of your body, and it's very painful. In the spring, you know, half the time there's a snowstorm or an ice storm, and it all tries to kill you. That's South Dakota. All right, Zaja said, optional question. Well, I'm going to answer your optional question. Would you recommend your pen testing courses for those who aren't interested in pen testing as a career? Yes. And the reason I say, I'm not just saying that because I made the courses. That sounds very like me trying to market to you. But to be a good blue teamer, you really need to know how a red teamer or a threat actor thinks. And my courses kind of reveal many of those secrets. I mean, just my hands-on phishing course alone, after you go through that course and you hear about scattered spider and phishing emails being set up and credentials being stolen and MFA being bypassed, I like literally show you how to do all of those attacks in my course as a red teamer. And if you know how the attacks work, you're able to develop defenses to stop the attacks from happening. So to be a good blue teamer, you do need to understand some level of pen testing, and it goes the other way as well. To be a good pen tester, you need to understand some level of blue teaming. Before I was a pen tester, I was a senior analyst on the blue team doing vulnerability management and a little bit of incident response. So I understand at least some of that world, and that's been super helpful for me as a pen tester. All right, let me scroll through chat. This is a good question. So Stanley said, please differentiate between vulnerability scanning, pen testing, and red teaming. Vulnerability scanning is when you run a tool such as Nessus, and it just looks at all of the open ports and does a quick scan for version information and tries to find any low-hanging bugs in vulnerabilities. Now, Nessus is something I use when I'm doing an external network pen test, or maybe I have like 1,000 IPs that a client gives me. The first thing I'll do is I'll run Nessus against it, see if there's any low-hanging bugs. But what you'll get, if you pay for a very cheap pen test from an organization, you're just going to get a vulnerability scan, and they're going to call it a pen test. That is not the same thing. A vulnerability scan is one aspect of doing a pen test, but a very small part of it. When you're doing pen testing, that's when you're looking at business logic flaws and doing hands-on enumeration and exploitation, demonstrating impact in the real environment. But a pen test is very much a time-limited engagement. I may only have 5 days to look at a web app or 5 days to look at a network. That is not enough time to be stealthy. So a pen test, a client just wants to see, hey, can you find as many vulnerabilities as possible and then give us a detailed report at the end so we can patch and remediate those vulnerabilities? Red teaming is not the same as pen testing. So thank you so much for answering this, or for asking this question. Red teaming is sort of like an advanced version of pen testing. When I'm doing a red team engagement, it's much longer. It could be a month, 2 months, or 3 months, and it's less of a focus on finding vulnerabilities and more of a focus on goal execution. In a red team engagement, I am emulating an APT or an advanced persistent threat, and the goal, if I'm doing like a red team engagement on a bank, might be, hey, we want you to make a fraudulent transaction. And the scope is a little more open. So I might do social engineering, I might do some web app pen testing. I might do some cloud pen testing, digging into things, but the whole time trying to remain stealthy as I work my way towards goal execution. So on a pen test, you don't have to be stealthy. The blue team knows you're in the environment. You're limited on time, so you can be as noisy as you want. On a red team engagement, that's when you want to stay underneath the radar and focus on evasion techniques and living off the land and all of those fun things. So thank you, Stanley, for asking that question. Really great question. JT Webb said ADCS is the most common way to DA or domain admin within the past year for me. Same here. ADCS is so hot right now. So that's Active Directory Certificate Services. If that's misconfigured, you can do some malicious template magic and get domain admin. Once again, if you guys did not see the link for the workshop, both me and Jerry dropped it in chat. We have an entire workshop led by my friend Ryan, who is also a pen tester and red teamer, teaching you how to exploit the ADCS vulnerabilities. I think ESC 1 through 4. There's different types of vulnerabilities in exploit. He's going to show the first 4 in the workshop. All right, did I bike to my studio? Not today. Usually I just ride my bike to my office, but I knew I had to get here. Well, I live streamed at home last night, so I had all my microphone and stuff at home. And I knew I had to do this Q&A, so I got done streaming last night, got to bed really quick, woke up early, packed up all my equipment, and then drove to my office because I had like my mic and headphones and everything with me. Sorry for the coughing, guys. My throat is not used to talking this early in the morning. Cyber Risk said, how to approach building a personal brand outside of work with blogs, public speaking, and conferences. Do you get permission from your manager or just do it? You don't need to get permission from your manager as long as you do it on your own time. I actually had a minor issue with this in my current place of work. So like I can't stream or do any of that stuff during my workday, but that's why you can catch me all the time streaming at night and sharing content at night or early in the morning like now before my workday starts. But yeah, just do it. Make a YouTube channel, start making videos, and start connecting with people in the community on Discord. Attend Discord events if you are able. All of those things is how you build personal branding. There's not one way to do it, but it's all those different things together and just making sure your name gets known out there. So that would be my recommendation there. I had another thing I was going to say. Oh, guys, if you don't know, this is what I was going to share. So like I shared before, I'm very much limited on what I can do right now because I work a full-time job for another organization. I'm quitting this job, y'all. So starting October 1st, I am going to be working solo for myself. I am going to be doing a mix of a bunch of things, but a much bigger focus on content creation and teaching. I'm also starting my own pen testing firm. I'm going to be doing some contract work on the teaching side of things and some contract work on the pen testing side of things so that I can actually use part of my workday to stream and make content and teach more people. So just know that is coming. If you want to stay tuned to that, follow me on YouTube. I think it will succeed, but who knows? It might just be a train wreck. Either way, I'll tell you all about it while I'm going through it. So if you want to watch that journey, join me on my YouTube channel. Do you come to the city to box or do you have a gym in your town? No. So if I do some boxing or sparring, I go to a city. So I live near a city in South Dakota, which there's not many of them, so you can probably guess the right one. But it's like a 20-minute drive from where I live, so it's not far at all. But yes, what Kish and InfoSec is pointing out, not only do I hack, I also love boxing. So I go to a gym and do some semi-hard sparring at times with some of the pro boxers. Actually, I've sparred with the current light heavyweight champ in the bare knuckle fighting championship, Josh Dyer. He lives in my same area. I've done a few rounds with him in the ring. I did not get knocked out, so that's the only positive thing I can say there. But I also love boxing, so catch me outside. How about that? Let me scroll through chat. I just finished part 3 in the series of AD. Is your part 4 going to leave me another cliffhanger? Like when the anime is just getting good? Of course it's going to. So Butler NA is talking about a series on my YouTube channel where I'm solving an Active Directory chain from Vulnlab called Trusted. It requires compromising 2 domain controllers. I'm trying to do it in real time while I'm streaming, and then I take it and break it up into different parts on my channel. So I think I have released parts 1 through 4. We recorded part 5 last night, hopefully part 6 tonight, and we'll be done. But a 6-part series of working through a live Active Directory environment. I don't know how Jerry talks this much. In the early morning hours. All right, Jerry jumped off. Hey, peace out, dude. And yes, in about 10 minutes, we're all going to raid the Cybersecurity Mentors podcast. We'll make sure we end before then. I'm scrolling through chat. All right, scrolling through. Do you like fishing? Not fishing. I hear the smallmouth are pretty big in South Dakota. You know, I do not do much fishing, the F kind of fishing. I used to when I was a kid, but now that I have 2 kids of my own, they don't have the patience to sit and watch a bobber on a lake and wait for a fish to bite it. And if I am not working, I am hanging out with my kids. So I don't like leave for a Saturday and go fish. I work too much between my day job and then streaming at night. So like any time that I am not working, I am hanging out with them. And since they don't like fishing, I don't fish much. No, thank you, Alpha Sierra, for clarifying. My course does not come with an OSCP voucher. You will have the chance to win an OSCP voucher. I only have 1 to give away, it is a drawing that will happen on my live stream. There is no possible way I can give everyone a voucher. My course is only $34. The voucher is $1,800. So literally impossible. So it's one voucher that I'll be giving away on August 5th for the giveaway. To be eligible, you have to enroll in the course. The course is already incredibly cheap. I mean, that phishing course on any other platform would likely sell for $100 to $200. And I'm giving it to you, $34.99, lifetime access. For someone wanting to set up their first home lab, basic recommendations, things to play with first. So for a home lab, you don't even need a bunch of hardware. You can virtualize almost your entire home lab. If you want to get into pen testing, I recommend looking into the game of Active Directory, or GOAD. I think it's created by Orange Cyber Defense. It allows you to spin up a full Active Directory environment locally with a bunch of different misconfigurations that teach you both how to do AD hacking, but also how to defend against those attacks. So completely free. You can spin it up locally and then create like a Kali Linux VM and learn how to do the attacks and the blue team on Active Directory. So that'd be my recommendation of a basic home lab to set up. Can you talk about CTF challenges and which do you recommend? Dude, I don't know what's wrong with my voice this morning. So CTF challenges are generally just ways that teach you skills when it comes to pen testing or red teaming techniques. I personally don't do a lot of traditional CTFs. And what I mean by that is a traditional CTF is like that Jeopardy style where there might be some challenges on cryptography, challenges on reverse engineering stuff. The CTFs I enjoy are the realistic ones. Maybe it's a web app or a boot to root machine that doesn't require like pulling a stupid password out of a picture of a cat using steganography, because that's nothing I see in the real world. So I only do CTF machines that are realistic and seem like something I might encounter in my day-to-day job as a pen tester. And for that, VulnLab is the best platform, in my opinion. VulnLab was acquired by Hack the Box, so some of the content is moving over there. Hack the Box also love their standalone machines, very realistic. TryHackMe has been stepping their game up. I used to not be a fan of TryHackMe's standalone machines because they were not realistic, very CTF-y, but now they have a focus on realism. I'm actually on the QA team at TryHackMe reviewing new machines when they are submitted and discarding any that are very like puzzly and CTF-y. So I don't know if that answers your question, but those are my initial thoughts on what they are and what I recommend. Without putting in any data, would I be able to use ChatGPT to learn how to write a pen test report? For example, I do regular box and TryHackMe. Would it be worth it to write a full on? Yes, it would definitely be worth it. And I'm actually doing a contest right now with Nahamsek and John Hammond. You can catch this on my YouTube channel. So go to my YouTube channel. You'll see a thumbnail with me, John Hammond, and Nahamsek. But we are hosting a pen test report writing contest on a machine on Hacking Hub, another amazing platform and free platform to learn hacking. The TLDR is solve the machine, write a professional pen test report, submit it by July 28th. So you have 4 more days to do this. And then we are going to select, I believe, the top 3 winners. And the top 3 winners are going to win a package of courses. You'll get a course from me, a course from Nahamsek, and a course from John Hammond as a winner. Winners will also be announced on August 5th for that. So yes, it's worth writing a pen test report. You should go do that challenge right now because you get experience writing a pen test report, but you may also win a package of courses from me and a few of my friends. All right, how am I doing on time? We got a few more minutes. Jeez. Got this gunk in my throat, bro. Hi, Tyler. I just started your course, Intro to Hacking Methodology. Love it. Well, thank you. I will definitely be taking the rest of your courses. I'm just wondering where I should focus my learning efforts next. I just passed my CompTIA Plus exam, and I'm not sure what to do next. More search, Hack the Box Lab. I'm currently seeking an internship required in order to get. All right, so if you want to be a pen tester, you need to get the OSCP. Well, you don't need to, but the OSCP is still the gold standard in the eyes of HR. So if you want something to focus on next, focus on earning the OSCP. Start studying through it. Go through TJ Knowles' list and Lane Saki's list, if I'm saying that right. You can find their list of machines on Reddit, but those are the machines that are very OSCP-like. So that's what I would shift your focus to if you want to get into pen testing. All right, I'm scrolling through chat. What skills are you going to be looking for in your first employees? I'm probably not going to hire employees, at least for a while. If you've ever ran your own business, the if you ever run your own business, hiring employees can be a headache. Like managing employees and doing all of that takes significant work. I used to do this back when I was in the church world. I had a team of employees. And so I'll just to break everybody's dreams, you're probably not going to come work for me in the near future. I have so many random streams of income that I'm going to be focusing on. I will not have time to hire and manage employees. The best that I will likely end up doing is hiring contractors on the pen testing side to help with some of the pen testing. Now, in the first year, I'm not doing that. But if things grow well in the second year, I'll probably hire 1 or 2 contractors. But what I'm looking for them is experienced pen testers, because I won't have the time to train you and teach you how to be a pen tester. So I'll be looking for experienced pen testers open to contract work. Would be the first employees that I hire, but they won't be full-time employees. They will likely just be contractors. Outside of that, if I hire anyone, it might be like a project manager to help with some of the pen testing side of things. What is your channel name? My channel name is Tyler Ramsby. So just look me up. Yeah, thank you, Robert, for sharing. Let me pull this up. So yeah, subscribe to me on YouTube. I have like over 600 videos teaching ethical hacking and all of the things. How does an attacker bypass MFA? One way to do it is using Evil Jinx. I show this in my hands-on phishing course. Evil Jinx functions as an invisible proxy. So if you log into a website that requires MFA, it actually sits as man in the middle. You don't see it unless you look at the URL, but it actually sends the traffic to the legit website. Then when you log in, I can steal down your session tokens, and then even without your password, I can use your session tokens to log into the website after you verify MFA yourself. If you want to learn how to do that, watch my hands-on phishing course. Guys, I see that there are more questions. How am I doing on time? We have like 3 minutes. I don't know if I have time to answer more questions. Are there any guides that you would recommend for how to properly document for exercise in a blog that would look good to possible employers that are practice write-ups? Introduction to Hacking Methodology by me. I teach you how to do note-taking, how to do some write-up stuff there. Otherwise, like there's many YouTube videos. Just Google how to write a pen test report. There are incredible resources that you can check out. You'll be able to find those there. All right, guys, I apologize, but we are coming up to the top. Not the top, the middle of the hour. All right, we got 2 minutes. I'll try to answer questions really fast. Do you think society as a whole's attention span has gotten shorter? Yes. You need to read more books, guys. Get away from your freaking screen and read a book. It's good for you. I promise. It won't kill you. How many hours does it take to complete your course on Simply Cyber Academy? Intro to Hacking Methodology, 4 to 6 hours. Intro to AWS Pen Testing, 12 to 14 hours. Hands-on phishing, 12 to 15 hours. Depends how long it takes you to do the challenges. Am I going to DEF CON 33? Yes, and I'm hosting a meetup on Friday with Jerry. Make sure you come to the Hack Smarter Simply Cyber meetup on Friday. I'm also doing the keynote for the Red Team Village on Friday at 11 a.m. I'll be on the keynote panel with my friends Nahamsek and Zero Day. So yes, I'll be at DEF CON, and then I'll spend a lot of time at New Village hanging out over there. But okay, guys, we are at time for the it's not the premiere, but we're gonna all raid over into the Cybersecurity Mentors podcast here on Simply Cyber's YouTube channel. So I'm gonna sign off with all of you, but I'm gonna hang out over there as I get ready for my workday. So that starts in just 2 minutes. So let me go ahead and get signed off of here, and I'll hang out with you guys over there. Let me find the right freaking outro clip. I think this is the right one. So thank you so much for hanging out. I will catch you guys in the next one, or join me on my YouTube channel tonight. I will likely be live streaming. Peace.